right. It's almost like I used to be in radio.
Oh, man.
It's almost like I know that song and used to be in radio. It's wild.
I think people might want some beverage conversation from us.
I think so.
That's what they might want. Yeah, that was like.
I hope that's what they want.
But sometimes it doesn't always.
No, that's true.
But that was seamless. Seamless.
Welcome in, everyone. It is a Thursday evening. It is time for some beverage podcasting fun, as always. We always have fun when we podcast, right?
I think so.
Is there any time we haven't? Like we were like, man, that was disappointing.
Well, there's just the one time that I remember.
When we had the Trader Joe's cinnamon.
Well, that's good. No, that's good content.
Eggnog? Okay,
that's good content.
My belly didn't like that very much.
You're like, I don't like it.
That didn't wait. When was the bad one? Oh no.
Well, once I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah.
Okay.
It isn't one that I had to dig to. When we tried to do the
St.
Patrick's Day.
The St. Patrick's Day one. That one was that really
just was
fell
very
flat.
That was clumsy and clunky, and I don't know if maybe neither one of our hearts weren't in it or it just didn't go right. So
yeah, probably a little bit of all of those things. That is very true. But yeah, if anybody is new here to the podcast, I'm Andrew
and I'm Keith,
and yeah, we're going to talk about some beverages. We're going to talk about probably about some baseball, the World Series going on. Maybe
that's it. The World Series.
The World Series. Yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit because that was an exciting Game 7. Obviously.
I wanted a little bit.
No.
I wanted
a 3-run homer to go ahead.
Well, so I was rooting slightly more for Seattle. I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was close. I'm rooting either way for whoever to beat the Dodgers. But yeah. I think just a little bit. I think because the franchise has never been there to the World Series.
Okay.
And I felt that, especially as being long-suffering Cubs fans,
the kismet
for way long. Yeah, when that game was over and they were only down by 1, they had a chance. And the guys, yeah. And that last, and those pitches, they're coming at you at 85, 95 miles an hour. They look good coming out of the hand, but that ball was like way out of the strike zone. He'd been good. He was one of the reasons they had 3 runs. So
it's true.
But I think I was rooting just a little bit more for Seattle.
Okay.
Right. The other games there had been like more of the back and forth. It seemed like there was a little more drama. But yeah, and then I still have a little bit of a problem with George Springer because of his Astros.
Ties to Jerry Springer.
No, Jerry Springer's.
Oh, okay.
No, because of the whole cheating.
Oh, interesting.
He's one of the Astros from.
Oh, I had no idea. I mean,
banging on the trash cans.
Oh, okay.
Thing. Yeah, that's the Springer, Correa, Altuve, Bregman.
So are you saying there's something suspicious going on?
I don't think there was in this case, and everybody.
But you always got to wonder, though.
And everybody deserves a second chance.
No, but some people don't.
Well, you deserve a second chance, maybe not a third.
Depends on what you did the first time. I killed a whole group of people.
Yeah, no, let's give him a second chance. Okay, all right, true.
Sorry, I always had to find the one.
Most people.
That's true.
Some, not
Lucky, it is good to see you. Baker, it is good to see you as well. Betting on sports, I know that's a hot topic
Only
right
the
now.
NBA.
What's going on with that? Did I miss something about is LeBron James betting on things? Is he tarnishing
his
what little
did something, or his former shooting coach, or there's that Chauncey Billups is being named in something.
I saw that Chauncey Billups
player for the Hawks.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
It's all tied to that guy, Jonte Porter from last year. He was he's related. I think it's Michael Porter, but or what one of his brother also plays in the NBA, and his brother's much more accomplished basketball player. But the guy who played, I think for Toronto, he was bench player, and he manipulated things where he either got himself put in or had himself removed from the games early so that certain betting lines, and they, they're watching those things.
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden this money is going way up on this line. So I just read that it's still kind of connected to that. So
interesting. X-ray contact lens for cheating in poker games. Oh my gosh.
The Superman X-ray glasses that we used to be able to get from comic books.
True. First beverage of the evening. We'll just shoot in with this really quick. Our final pumpkin beer of the season. I was almost going to let this one go, and you're like, "No, I want to have one." I
did. Okay. This was the one that was really in the.
This is the one out of all of them I actually wanted to have.
Well, no, I wanted to try the others, and we got last week not so much, but one of them was good. One of the two. One of them we had already.
And we had that
one.
Yeah.
But the week before we had a few good ones, and so I've come to embrace still, to some extent give grief about it, but it's all in fun, and I've embraced that. And especially since this is one that won a couple of years, it's also one of our niece's favorites, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, so this is the Shipyard Brewing Smashed Pumpkin. It's an Imperial Pumpkin Ale. This used to be called the Pugsley's Smashed Pumpkin. When we had it originally, it was always one of our favorites. Because it was a little thinner, had a little more alcohol, had that buttery crust kind of thing going on.
Yep.
At least that's what we always used to say. We'll find out if that still carries through here as well. Rich Eisen had a good segment today about the cheating and the documents in the FBI release today. Okay, I'll have to go back and listen to that. I like Rich Eisen quite a bit.
Oh my God.
Apparently, there were X-ray contact lenses that they were wearing to cheat at cards.
I was reading something that was Chauncey.
I just heard someone talk about LeBron James that
that to me was they mentioned Chauncey Billups and then Rozier for the Hawks, and then LeBron James's assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Chauncey Billups thing I read was about something about cards and dealing with mafia families too, the Gambone and the all these families, and so. But I didn't.
What are people doing? My God. Maybe taking all this gambling money wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of that was actually what I heard. I follow Jeff Pearlman. If you're familiar with. Okay, I think he was on Rich Eisen recently as well. I don't know if you heard that, Lucky, but I like him a lot. He does a lot of stuff on TikTok and sports takes. He's been writing a book that just came out that I think I might get for one of our nieces for the holidays. But anyway, but yeah, he talked and he had a whole 2-minute rant about gambling in sports. It should never have left Las Vegas. It's as bad as big tobacco was, where it's just you're taking money from you're just forcing it down, even though you're, claiming if you have a problem, you'll hear this and that.
Right.
And all that stuff is it's just made it so much toward the forefront. And it's talking about the blood on everyone's hands and all that stuff.
Yep.
A 4-year investigation. Okay. I'm gonna have to read into some of this because some of this stuff must have just been breaking the last couple of days. Bill's involved in a poker scam. The other guy was rigging betting apps.
Yeah, there was, I
haven't betted all this football season. I've kind of lost interest in it because one of the points he makes is you used to watch sport, and I know people are, fantasy football is its own thing and everything else. So people get, that's why, you watch football is because you're oh, you're betting and this guy should have got a touchdown, and people get so upset. I realize that can happen so much, and that's why I almost don't like fantasy football. I'm still obviously in it. I'm trying to pay attention because I have a team going, but I less and less every year. It's I like just going oh, I want to watch this game because I want to watch this game, not because I'm I've got 2 guys in this game. No, you just want to watch it because the teams are good, or you hate one of them so much you really want the other team to win. That is the best reason to be watching a sporting event, is when you can be rooting against the other team.
Or just because, you just enjoy the majesty of the game. And I want to watch,
when the other team get pummeled into the ground.
But I did, my DraftKings app, since it was my anniversary, it gave me they have those crowns, and it amounted to $1. I made a $1 bet.
Oh my gosh.
I lost. But that's all I've done. Unless somebody Bet365 every once in a while will send me an email where they're like,
spend
hey,
5, get 20.
Yeah. If you deposit 15, once that clears, we'll give you 30 to, and I'll do that and have a little fun with that. But
I
overall,
probably will at some point. I was just, when all this came up, I said, that little bit that I saw today when it came up, I was all of a sudden I thought in my head, I was oh yeah, I have not even had a desire, let alone. Whereas last time I was okay, does anybody have any deals? And not that I did a lot, maybe a couple $100 last year total, maybe if that. I'm probably more 100, but I don't gamble, but I don't have anything against people who do. No, I don't think. Yeah. Again, it's like anything. As long as you were able to moderate yourself, and as long as you were able to keep. But it seems like gambling is one of the worst things. It seems like that is one of the hardest, even more almost than drugs. And so it seems like gambling is such an addictive thing because there's something in the brain synapse, the winning and losing part.
There's a good,
all my sub money went to Andrew's addiction. Yeah, right. That's where it went to. Imperial Pumpkin Ale is not a real thing. Imperial Ale with pumpkin, maybe. Oh my gosh. Crocodile, why are you flipping words around and being that way? Good to see you though.
The Michael Lewis, who wrote Moneyball and The Big Short, he has, I don't know if he's done anything recently, but when I heard him on another podcast, and he was talking about his own little podcast that he had, his podcast he gave his son, his 17-year-old son, he gave him money to gamble so that they could do basically a investigative sort of report to see what happened, how he did, how he was, and he was in California where it's supposedly you can't.
It's illegal.
But there are ways to get around that.
Well, you could probably use a VPN, I'm sure.
Well, different, and there's that says it's not gambling, it's it's like futures projecting is what it's called or something.
Oh my God.
It's very
nutty.
Look up Michael Lewis. I forgot what the name of it, but just Michael Lewis pot. And then just, I can probably even send you the link. It's interesting because at the end, his like 17 or 18-year-old son's quote is, anybody can win, but everybody loses. Which I was like,
that's actually
and
really...
it has to be something that you're doing for fun, like you feel like the other night. Pocket still has a little bit in her DraftKings app, and she's like, "I'm going to bet on Seattle to come back and win in the ninth." So I don't know what she put, a couple bucks, but because the odds were like
all $3,000 later.
That's,
oh my God, what have you done? That was our Europe trip.
But that kind of thing, it's like, okay, so just something.
I mean, that's how I used to do. I remember when, like I said, when I watched some Bears games, even last year, or the year before, all of a sudden you just be like, next, what's going to happen on the next drive? I'm like, oh, it'll be this, and you just like, here's $2 or whatever, something like that. It's like, oh, I won $2, whatever. Hello from the land of constant helicopters today, Crocodile. I'm sorry about that. That is a bummer. I guess ICE has entered into the lands of Alameda, California, is what Crocodile was talking about the other day. So they're chilling about and they're hanging at some sort. Where is it? Is it a base or something? Not that you have to like divulge like completely, but you said something a little bit the other day. You're like, yeah, they went into this. So yeah, they're hanging about, and I was like, well, that's terrible. But how does that compare to this beer? That was a terrible segue. That was awful.
Couldn't tell what you did. I was thinking you had a sip, or had you not? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've
had several sips.
Okay, I hadn't yet.
I've had many a sip. I thought the aroma was nice. It's not quite what it used to be, for sure. I think it definitely has changed. Like I said, it was definitely lighter. It was lighter in color too. This is definitely more of a darker molasses kind of thing. Whereas the other one, I remember, was a little more golden. We comment on that, and yet we were still like, ooh, 9%. But really, how does this involve the beer? Right? Exactly. How did this happen? Also, Crocodile, I was able to find one of those Lagunitas Sugar, so I'll probably feature one of those next week, and I'll have that on just hanging about as I'm streaming. So I picked one of those up too.
It's heavier than I remember. Mm-hmm. It's not it doesn't have the crust magic going on in there. So okay.
Yeah, they had it at my local Total Wine. I went down there to pick up a bunch of other things. One of the things we needed for the cocktail we're going to have later. That's why we played a song off of the Division Bell as we opened the show, is because the cocktail we're having is called the Division Bell. So I had to pick up some Aperol. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I had to pick up some other things. And as I was walking around, all of a sudden they had like a whole pallet of it. It was like, here, please. I was like, well, I don't want that much. Where do you have your singles? Thank you. I'll take a single.
Thanks to my Pink Floyd obsession earlier in the year, I knew when I saw that cocktail, Division Bell, I'm like, wait, there's a Pink Floyd album. And I was just glad I got it right.
It's a really good album too. So, yeah, I was telling you about that. Like probably one of my definitely top 4, top 5 Pink Floyd albums is that one. It is very, very
released
good.
In 1994.
94. Oh, yeah, just the top Floyd. My favorite Pink Floyd album, 94, is... Well, how many albums they released? One. But that doesn't matter.
That's
it could
my
have
favorite.
been trash.
Yeah.
It could have been 0. Could have been 0 of how much I liked it.
I could have given it a negative rating, but no, positive.
So I would say I still like this one. It's just not the same as it used to be, which is unfortunate. So it'll probably, it almost falls into the realm of like, well, find this one or find the pumpkin one from Dogfish, kind of the same flavor. That one's even a little heavier if you want more of a burnt crust kind of thing, burnt.
Did you have one of those this year?
I have not.
Okay.
I didn't actually. I mean, again, I looked a little bit, but I did not actually see that one readily available. I'm sure it's still available. There was sugar, then brown sugar, but it's possibly they went back to the original name since the Stones song Brown Sugar didn't age well. That's true. I think, I remember that a few years ago when they were like, yeah, we're going to stop playing that at concerts. Love to find some of this. I'll look at the bottle when I go out there. I think I got whatever the one is available that you had the picture of. So I think it said brown sugar. I feel like I can't remember. I'll double check the bottle when I go out there. But I got that. And it was like crazy cheap too. It was like under $3, which is always nice with Lagunitas, where it was always like the quality was always there. Still seems to be, even though they've sold out at some point, or the majority of their business they've sold out. But it's like the quality was always there. And then it was one of those nice ones where it's like, ooh, this isn't another $6 can, which I love those and I enjoy those. But every once in a while, it's like, it's kind of nice being able to pick up a beer and it's like $3. I'm sorry. I'm an old man, I guess. Maybe I've gotten to that point. Also, I just don't have as much beer anymore.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
If you need some.
Chilling over there.
I need to make some bratwurst just so I can start using up some of that.
Oh, yeah. Or some chili. Actually, I could probably take something from chili.
Let me know. You can have whatever.
I'll put it in chili. There's not a stout over there. No. Come on. What am I saying?
There was, but I think I took that one back because it was one I had taken over there, and I was like,
there's the 805s.
That'll work.
I think the New Belgium, the IPA, which is the ones that I had kept because my wife really liked those. Right. It was the Voodoo Ranger. I had one like a couple weeks ago. I think they've gone south.
Oh, okay.
So I probably might just wind up dispersing those.
Okay. But there's like the 805s are there. There's that Coronado one that you'd had. The Wow actually wasn't too bad. That one.
Oh, the Wow Wheat.
From Four Peaks.
Yeah.
Which I recorded that joke at some point when I actually had one on stream.
Oh,
did the Wow backwards. Yeah, exactly. So,
how was the wine the next day? Did you?
I wanted to talk to you about that. I'm glad you asked. That was good. It was actually better.
Okay.
It's still not going to beat the other one, especially because of the price and the flavor profile. But it definitely improved, and I finished it. I wound up having another glass and then a glass even the next day. No, not like that.
Okay, all right.
Not like that. That wine was too expensive to do that with. I do that with my box wines.
That's right. Oh. You got one right here.
Cannonball. Yeah, I like to funnel my box wines directly down my gullet. No, but it was really good.
Oh, good.
It was better. Some of the dryness was kind of gone. The berry, the cherry kind of came out a little bit more. It was, for me, it was a little smoother than it was originally the day before. So yeah, definitely.
Good.
I think that's one that either maybe it sounds silly with a wine at that price, but if you either decant it or let it open and just let it breathe for a little bit before you serve, I think it is actually really good. I think Carnage, I don't know if he's probably might not be here in chat right now, but I think he wound up getting one of those, or maybe got the OZV as well because he was talking about last week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So anyway, yeah, I think it's still not but it came up in chat. I think when I was in Casey's chat, like the next day or something, she was asking what we had on the podcast, and I mentioned that, and she was like, "Oh, I usually don't like Zinfandels because usually they're a little too sweet or a little too." I said, actually, if that's what you don't like about Zinfandel, you might like this one more because it was a little more toward the fruity, like I said, toward that kind of more tart,
lower note.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh, okay." So again, depending on what side of the coin you're on for Zinfandel, definitely don't have a problem recommending that one with the profile that people might be looking for. So yeah, definitely better the next day.
Okay. That's the first, I think most of the time we've said, oh, it was okay, but it might be better. You're usually like, yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah.
So this one definitely was different then. That's cool.
And I had some before, like I say, it was a little bit of a coincidence. Like I said, I think we made, like the Costco, they have their lasagna. So we had one of their Costco like lasagnas or whatever. So I was like, oh, I should have that wine. Like I was like, I should actually not forget to try it. And so I had it and I tried it. I was like, oh, it was good. And I had it with the meal and it was good. Nice. Yeah, it wound up being pretty good.
All right.
Has anything else new come in? Like thinking, I know it's a little early to be thinking ahead to next week, but is there something wine wise? Like when does the next flyer come out?
Flyer, I think it's like
it's the beginning of this month,
second.
Right? Okay.
So it's
2 weeks?
2nd to 31st.
Week and a half?
Yeah, second or third, or maybe it's the night. Yeah, it's coming out because a week from tomorrow is Halloween, so it's 31st for a second. So maybe it's the 3rd-ish. Yeah, beginning of November. There's going to be there's going to be a canned gin and tonic coming out. The everything but the bartender gin and tonic.
Oh, well, we like the margarita.
Yeah, no, that was good. I was just wondering. I was like,
what's the gin that's in there?
I don't know.
Oh, look, Carnage. We pulled him out of the ether.
Oh,
I drank some of that Zinfandel you recommended, the Trader Joe's Old Moon. You mean the Opalo?
Oh, the Old Moon.
Or is there
there
is
the Old Moon. That's the one. That's the $6 one. When you and I tried the 3 price points, and we were like, well, of course, we picked the OZV, but for $6, the Old Moon's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't have the other one?
Okay. Yeah. No, for especially at that price, it's a old Vine Zin. It's pretty good. So.
Yeah, but when you can find the OZV, you'd spend $4 more.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Just of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Or even Bogle's Old Vine Zin. I like the Bogle Old Vine Zin. That's good.
Oh yeah, that was always a good one too.
Yeah. So
when does the World Series start? Is that like Thursday?
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? Okay.
Yep. The Dodgers have had like almost a whole week off.
Maybe they'll be cold
Friday. Yeah. Right.
Does it start in LA?
No, Toronto. I think Toronto had the better record.
Oh, is that okay?
So I believe it starts in Toronto.
And it's 2-3-2 though.
Yes.
Which I always think is weird. I get maybe it's like kind of goofy. I'm glad basketball does the 2-2-1-1-1-1 because that makes so much more sense for keeping things a little bit more parity. The 2-3-2, if you literally win one of those games, you now have home field advantage. Like it's that much of a crushing blow. in my opinion. It's like such a because now you have 3 games at home. Like that's just so crazy.
Yeah. No, it's true. Although, Toronto lost the first 2 at home and then went on to win the series against the Mariners. But the Dodgers are no Mariners. So.
Both teams can chomp my cheeks. Mariners fan carnage here.
And
Keith was just talking earlier.
There before. Yeah.
Keith was just talking about that earlier. That's who he was a little bit more rooting for.
Slightly more was rooting for the Mariners than I did. It's always, anytime there's that kind of competition or kind of games, somebody's losing. So somebody's going to be have that loss, that feeling, and their fans as well. And I as having been through that many years as a Cubs fan, and that was I was there with you. I just was like, man, and I think that's why I was rooting a little bit more for the. As far as I know, I don't have anything against the Blue Jays. I was rooting for the Mariners for that.
The Mariners are just always losing for 50 years.
Yeah, it's tough. You guys were right there. Just that. Just some unfortunate situations, not coming up with hits in game 6, like 3 double plays to end, I think the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning in the 6th game. And then there was a couple opportunities in that other game, but had that lead. So
muted lurking in it. All right, Falcon, thank you for the muted lurk. I appreciate it.
Muted lurk.
And what was funny too was I saw someone talking about that, like it was just really unfortunate that the way like things fell because they were saying the Dodgers did not want to play the Cubs. Like the Cubs, they say if depending on if things had fallen differently and it was the Cubs playing the Dodgers, the Cubs they were like they'd be in the World Series. And this is from not a Cubs fan. They were just like they're like based on matchups and everything else. The Dodgers literally got the easiest path they could have had to get to the World Series because of how matchups and stuff worked. Because the Brewers literally just fell over.
Well, but it's interesting.
Especially after they did their jackass thing of putting a giant L when they beat. Did you see all that stuff?
No.
Did you miss? How did you miss all this?
Well, I just turned it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had instead of fly the W, they had to fly it in a giant L.
Oh.
But that was the last game they won, so now they've been getting destroyed in social media.
Yeah, good.
So then people put up and they made it where it was 4 flags, but there was 4 L's in a row, and they're like, "Oh, is this now your flag?"
Yeah.
And then people were putting like brute. Had something and they put like extra L's for like to be loser, but it was like bruiser or something like that. Yeah, it's been great. Like I said, they thought they were being so smart and so tacky, and like there's Milwaukee and Wisconsin just is like the whole area is just a bunch of whole garbage right there. I'm sorry.
That it was almost like they were like, woo, we beat the Cubs, we don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Let's just roll over.
They literally roll over. Although Ohtani was ridiculous.
I am gonna say, so
that's just insane.
If you look at the regular season, the Cubs outside of they lost the 2 games in Japan, but
right.
The Cubs they won the season series.
Yeah.
But the Brewers also took 7 out of 7 games from the Dodgers during the regular season. So that shows you the different team that when you have guys, Snell throwing 8 innings and the next guy throwing a complete game and Glasnow, he went into the 6th, I think. And then Ohtani hitting 3 home runs and pitching 6 shutout innings, 1 hit shutout innings.
Hitting 3 home runs.
They're just, they're operating at a different level right now. So
I dislike him being on the Dodgers so much, but if you don't appreciate him as a baseball player, like I think there's just no help for you. Like he is just absolutely another level of ball player. Yeah, to throw 6 innings pitch. Do you have 10 strikeouts? Like
10 strikeouts.
10 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched, 3 home runs.
Yep.
Now, when he comes out of the game, what do they do with that? Is he out of the game then in the 6th
No, he's still the designated hitter.
Oh, you can. So that's what he's. Oh, that's right. Because forgot about that. That is wild how that works.
DH. Yeah.
Also brought in Bizzardo, who had pitched in like 3 straight games. They had seen him too many times. True. Are these facts?
I know he pitched a lot. I didn't know if he pitched in Game 6 or not.
It's him again.
Very possible. Yeah. Well, that's the way those are. You start seeing the same pitchers, but yeah, then Churio with his wounded leg and all that.
Cheerios?
No, on the Brewers. I'm going back to the Brewers and the Cubs, and it's like did you ever? I don't know if you noticed it, but two observations. I kept thinking with Joey Ortiz, the shortstop on the Brewers. For some reason, he reminded me of Robin Williams playing Armand in.
Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
So, because every time that cheesy mustache, I saw that. Then the right fielder, and they played center, Sal Frelick for the Brewers, had this glove, and it looked like he was half the size of him. And I even said to Pocket, I said, his glove's huge. And then she's like, oh my God, that guy? And I'm like, yes. Like, it reminds me of and I know they wear them for protection. So I'm happy they're, but the giant hats.
Oh yeah, the Guardian caps.
I want them, once again, this is not I want them to be safe. I don't care, but it's just funny to see those.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks. It looks a little bit like a Pee Wee football squad, where the helmets are just so big compared to the little kids, and it's like their neck shouldn't even be able to hold them up.
It's like you blew it up with a, you inflated it. Yeah.
I used to have that inflatable Bears helmet. Remember that? I got that like years and years and years ago. Do you remember that inflatable Bears helmet? It's almost like that. Even though I cannot hear you respond, look at these two dapper dudes, because as a dapper dude, I know a dapper dude when I see a dapper dude. That's a lot of double. That's a lot of double D's.
That's
right there.
That's a lot of dapper dudes.
That's a lot of double D's right there.
Yeah, no, I know Bizzardo came in, but Wu had, I think, walked and then given up a single. I think.
Hooray for Lily Wu.
Yeah. Well, so that was the thing I didn't understand with Seattle, and I go back and forth with the Moneyball theory and the sacrifice, giving up an out and all that. There was earlier in the game, Seattle got their first two runners on base, and then their number 7 hitter Crawford came up, and he laid down a sacrifice bunt, and it was great because he got him to second and third. But he's by far a better hitter than the two guys coming up after him.
And that's the thing, because then they're probably either going to walk a person to force him, or they're just going to pitch to that guy because they don't care. They're probably actually happy that they didn't have to pitch to him.
He pitched to their number 8 and 9 guys. It's different if you do that and then your big guns are coming up, but that's not what was happening. So, anyways,
what have we got here, Keith?
Oh my gosh, we have the latest iteration of the Trader Joe's vintage ale. For at least, I think about 20 years, which is as long as I've been with Trader Joe's, they have come out with a beer usually late October, early November, or sometime in November.
That's like right now.
Yeah, right now.
I think I'll start a paper out right now. Sorry.
And it's a vintage ale. It's meant to, it's a little higher alcohol. Usually, I think this is 9. Or is it 9.4? Usually they're like 9.4%. We've done one or two on podcasts.
Yes, we have 9% even. It looks like
we did the 10-year. We did one that I'd had for 10 years. We did the aged one.
Aged in your personal cellar.
Aged in my personal cellar. But those previous 18, 20 years had all been made by a Canadian brewery, Unibro, which does like La Fine du Monde and Tres Pistoles and some other things. They do other, but this year it's different. This is actually was brewed in Belgium by a brewery that you say we have had things.
We have definitely had some things from that. You'd have to go way back in the archives, like I said, to some early podcasts. But yeah, we have had some things from this brewery before, like some early like sour like Belgian kind of ales. And actually, earlier this week I had a Duchess, which was nice. It was just. It's funny. I always remember that one. Like, and I don't know if like it's changed a little bit over the years. I don't feel like it didn't seem quite as sweet as that. Like it was always like sweet vinegar, and this one just seemed a little more toward the vinegar side. It was still delicious, and it's still one I like having just kind of around. But yeah, it was kind of nice to treat myself to one of those. Mr. Cool, hello, good to see you. Good to see everybody here this evening. Hello. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. But yeah, we are attempting to pour some of this and get through.
So not only has the brewery changed, but the price has changed also.
Oh, really?
This I think early, like 20 years ago, was $4.99, but for years it's been
like
$5.99. Actually, it may have been $5.99. Now it's $7.99. So it's gone up a couple bucks. But that's what happens. Now you've gone across the pond.
It's true.
To Belgium.
Tariffs involved, probably.
Probably.
We're going to blame tariffs on that one.
And maybe an upgrade.
This is like an amazing amount of foam.
I know.
Yours at least has died down a little bit.
But I remember when I first started working there, I would get one or two of these a year, and over the course of an evening, I would just have a little brandy snifter.
You drink both of them?
No, and that would be my drink for the evening, and it was good. And then it kind of fell off the table for me. I was like, I'm not enjoying these, so I didn't do it. But now I have.
So they were a little more spice too.
They're more spice, and supposedly, I don't know if you looked at that sheet at all.
I did a little bit.
It says that this is not. Going to be as spice forward.
Okay.
See. Television. Exciting television.
It's gonna be all.
Belgian strong. Warm brown. Previous former version feature. Okay. Less of the prominent spice that the former version featured. These with notes.
Was that spice due to the yeast, perhaps? I wonder.
I'm guessing, probably. It was. I think we had determined.
This is technically a Belgian strong dark ale.
Dark ale.
Okay.
We had done some.
Afternoon, everybody.
Hey, cool. Thank you for the
Well,
Prime
thank you.
sub. I appreciate that. That is very nice.
I have to do that for Pocket. I've been forgetting to do that.
Oh my goodness. I see how it is.
A free Prime sub.
Thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Cool. That is very, very kind. Appreciate it. Did you finish all the, I know you were doing the, you were playing Ghost of Yote like I was. Did you actually finish all of the achievements? I know you had a few more you were tracking down. Yeah, that is very nice. Appreciated.
I decided to stay with the concert theme shirt this week because I had Paul McCartney last week.
You did.
Although it was about it popped up in my little picture feed. It was 1 year ago yesterday that my son and I first tried to go to see ELO last year.
When it was canceled.
Yeah, when it was canceled. So,
well, then he couldn't even do his last show, right?
yeah, the one in England. Yeah, he had to cancel that one,
And then
yeah.
just never redid it.
No, as far as I know, yeah,
That's
he
wild.
wasn't rescheduling.
You would think when he's like,
It's my last show.
you'd think you'd want to do that one.
Maybe, yeah. He probably did.
Maybe.
So I don't know what that.
Oh, you finished them? Nice. Nice.
Definitely get the malt. I don't know if I'm getting anything else through the delicious looking foamy goodness.
Like my phone won't go
Yeah.
down. Wish I had a scoop.
I was remember that.
What was that?
It
Oh, it was
was
a Santa Fe.
Santa Fe,
Santa Fe coffee,
porter or something.
Coffee porter or
Yeah.
something like that. It's the never-ending
Camper,
hit.
happy camper or something like
Yeah.
that. Or-
I haven't had anything from them in a while.
The question is, are they still around?
I don't know.
That's the thing about
La Cumbre is still there, so that's always
people
a good
and
one.
breweries.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
I would love to go to some places like that in New Mexico. I feel that's an ale that it needs some food. Like it's really good. It's got a nice body to it. A little viscosity in there. It's not heavy by any means, but there's some viscosity, like almost kind of a little olive oil, like a little less than that, but like something in there. It's just nice and smooth and kind of rich, and it just feels like I'm like, oh, I want that, and I want a piece of cheese, or like I want some
cheese,
want
a
some
little chocolate if it's dessert time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like it feels like that would complement that so well.
Yeah.
That is really good.
I could drink that by itself, but yes, it would be very good with food.
Yeah, like I said, some sort of if you had a nice charcuterie board that was like maybe like some chocolate strawberries, or like if you wanted to bring out like some of that kind of food, but yeah, chocolate would be good. Cheeses would be good, like some sort of mixed board. Like, yeah, that would be really. This is actually really good, just because it is just so smooth.
Yeah,
that is nice. 9% could be a little devastating if you're like, oh man, this is
so good. You have to talk like that, but
so good.
so good, yeah.
Yeah, that is good. There's just the lightest little bit of tang in there. That Belgian kind of little.
Yeah,
it's that Belgian kind of like Belgian sugar, like that kind of. Like kind of flavor in there a little bit, like a little bit sweet. It'll like very light tank, like it's very light. Like I don't want to, but like there is a little bit of that in there. Man, that is really nice. That's slightly unexpected. I wasn't sure what I was gonna be ready for. I thought it'd have a little bit of spite, but yeah, they definitely kind of knocked that out. Proggy, it's good to see you. How are you? We're enjoying some beers. We're about to enjoy a cocktail though, so don't want to get everybody.
It's almost
excited.
Cocktail hour. That's right.
It's almost cocktail hour.
Yeah, that's
really tasty.
That's very good.
Will you be getting another one of these to have?
I will grab another one.
I was going to say this feels like something like that.
It's interesting. Normally this ships out of our Trader Joe's warehouse, but this had to come from another one of our beer distributors. I'm not sure what the laws or what the reasons why, if it's because of maybe the brewery that makes it.
Interesting.
Like all that stuff is I have no idea, but yeah, we ordered 8 cases. Came in yesterday, and it's funny that I put those 8 cases out, stacked them up. They were there,
like end cap kind of situation.
Yeah, I put them on the end with some other things. When I grabbed this one this morning, when I shopped, I took it from I did 2 stacks, 4 each, and I took it from the top of a stack of 4.
Okay.
Before I left today, it was down to 2 stacks of 3.
Ooh!
So somehow, yeah. So.
Case,
anyway.
I'm assuming, is 12, not 6?
Case is 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
That always throws me off because it's like always like spirits are usually 6.
No, they're usually 12. It just depends.
Can they?
It depends
okay.
on the spirit. It depends on the
Okay, because when we get
Depends
that,
that one's 6.
that one winds up being 6. Have we heard anything about that yet?
I've been looking. I haven't seen anything yet though.
I have my standing
Am
order.
I putting you down for a case?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then probably like a couple weeks later, you're like, "We've got a few more." And if you're like, "All right,"
I should send. I almost sent an email today asking about that, but I will. I'll do that because it's fun. I still have unopened bottles from the last 3 years.
That's
22, 23, and 24 are all still sitting in my.
I have to look. I think
pantry.
I think I have 2 more. 3 tops.
Okay. Total?
Yeah, because as soon as I put total.
Well, but you give them.
As soon as I put one of those, I only shared one.
Oh, okay, only one.
I only shared one, my friend. Yeah, like I give one to HJ, like I said, because they always like having one. Sometimes they don't see it. No matter what, I always like them to have an extra one or whatever. So I always give them one, and then we gave one to our brother the one year, and then I was like, I think after that I've just been I hoard it. But if I put one of those out. As soon as my wife sees it, one of those is set out. Like I said, that gets open very quick. That's one of her favorites for sure, 100%.
I had an Andrew moment on Sunday. Actually, it was an Andrew couple of hours on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
I decided it was time to clear out the pantry. I know you did that a few months back.
I did, yeah. All of a sudden, I was just like, took stuff out, and it's like I just washed everything down, clean everything. Yeah, you throw some stuff away, organize, like, I should make this shelf, this thing. Yep. How did it go?
It went well. Well, also too because
how many sticky trays of sodas did you have?
Well, I had another one.
You mother trucker, man! Just drink your sodas.
This one was a Coke can that was probably only a year old.
That's wild.
I know, it was crazy because that was the one that had leaked.
You should write to your local Coca-Cola representative.
But with our son moving home, it was kind of like the merging of 2 households, and he's a culinary guy too, so he had all these spices. We have so many spices, and he buys the big thing of rice out of Costco.
That's
gigantic 20.
You guys have a rice cooker too, don't you?
Well, we have one. His is really good though.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I might donate ours. But and speaking of that, I will be looking at getting a coffee grinder, backup grinder.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
one.
I have.
Okay, nice.
Because Pocket's like, this is Andrew's grinder, right? I'm like, yeah. He said he wasn't using it.
It's fine.
No, I know. That's what I said. I said he's fine with it. She's like, yeah, but you should. And so I'm like, okay.
He just returned my Moonlighting DVDs not a week ago. I think we can't complain
that was funny.
about
She's
it.
like, what are these? I said, I'd lend him my Moonlighting DVD.
Months, 6 months ago or more. That's crazy.
But no, so it was. After all of his stuff came in, there was a lot, and I wanted to reorganize. And the 2 of them were doing their gaming thing, and I was watching football, and I was just like, I'm just pulling stuff out.
There's something kind of, I like doing it.
And now too, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, because there's certain things we make, and I need to know. And I'm like, I know what's in my pantry.
What did you do last year too? Didn't you make the turkeys like the day before or something like that? What was it? You did something where you were like, you're like, this saved so much time and made me so happy. Whatever that was.
We did do that. The last couple of years, actually, I think.
Has it been 2 years?
And yeah, I think right now we're at 26. I know. God. How did that happen?
I don't know. Are we eating outside again?
Probably.
You'll have
your choice.
The buffet thing was nice. That's always kind of works well. That's just absolutely crazy.
26.
How's the drinks? The drinks are good. We had one of our old favorites, which I just put in chat, which was the Shipyard Brewing Smashed Pumpkin Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Still good. It's different than the thing that was our favorite, many, many years ago.
Yes.
So that was a little bit unfortunate, but it's still good. Still a solid pumpkin beer. The Trader Joe's Belgian Vintage Ale 2025. This is actually quite good. It's
just
very
arrived
smooth.
in stores. Yeah.
Would be great with, like I said, we were just talking about, like if you had a charcuterie of either cheeses or if you had some chocolates or something like that. This would be great with that. And we're about to have the cocktail here in just a minute. We'll go make that, and I'm very excited to do that one. This is really good. You want a little more?
I will have a little bit more.
And
then you can have
pump the rest.
Yeah, you can have the rest tomorrow on stream.
Or a little bit more there. Yeah, for 9% too.
If you want one of these, let me know.
Leaning toward I may ask you. I almost asked you for this week too. I almost asked you for a Willet.
Well, and I owe you some money for.
It's not much. What did we say that? I can't remember. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was about a Willet.
Oh no. For that. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Oh, what else do I owe you money for? I don't know what the other thing is.
No, there was. I think it's because because you had gotten rid of the other website thing, and you're like, oh, how much is it? I was like,
Oh, yeah, that
I was like,
too.
oh, it's like $9 a piece or something like that. And I was like, I'll just throw it on my tab or whatever, because I'm sure I'll get something. But the other thing that's true, like I said, we could look that. But yeah, I thought about, I was like, oh, I should ask him if he's got a good Willet in there, and just
we got some in. That. I pushed them actually to the back. They weren't quite as high as the 58, but they were like 56s or 57s. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So
anything over 110 is a bonus. Like when I've seen, because Costco has had them now too.
Yeah, they have.
It's not as good as, like I said, what you can get them for me.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But it's still a good price. But even those, when I look at them, like sometimes like 107, 108. Yeah. Like I'm like, better access. Yeah. My brother's got better stuff.
They had 50. Yeah, I saw their price was like 60. So
it's
better than mine.
I think everybody is. I think Total Wine now is also that
They've
price.
Recalibrated.
Yeah, I think Total Wine is also right around $59.99. So yeah, slightly less than actually getting it at Trader Joe's, but
we sell both of the we have the two Whiskey Del Box, their classic and the Dorado, and we have them both for the same price now. They have a new vendor that's a new distributor. So yeah, but they're both. Can't remember what that price is, but they're both either like 50 or 51 now.
I would love to go. I'd have to see if they do that. Like, I don't know if you can actually go down to their distillery or whatever. I would love to go through their distillery and do like a vertical tasting of their things. Because I
before the football game.
Yeah. I'd be down with that.
I think we'd lose one of our members, but
maybe might lose two. Sometimes like we should go do something like that. Like you and me.
We should.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I think you and I'd have a good time doing something like that. I don't know how we'd film that, but even if we didn't, like just if we wanted to go and hang out and just like I would like to do that, like I said, or even go to Batch. I think you and I would have a good time going down to Batch too, just hanging out there and doing some, because you can do flights, or if he's doing some sort of, sometimes they have like cocktail like stuff. But
I'm getting, as this warms and I got through the foam, I'm getting a little bit.
There's a lot of foam to get through.
A little bit more of the spice.
Okay.
Ginger? But it's a
sporty.
It's a supporting role to me. So I'd like this more. The other one I remember too, the big thing is it used to have like a champagne like effervescence. The bubbles were real tight. This isn't that carbonated.
Which I like this better.
I like that better.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge champagne person. I know you kind of like champagne.
I do.
Just have never, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I try and I just don't, it just always seems like there's just not a lot of flavor. I think I like, other things like I don't know what. No.
Oh, I don't know what.
No sound but lurking. What is with all these no sounds but lurking?
No
Sushi,
sound,
it's good to see you. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it, Sushi.
Maybe that's what we should do. No sound.
We should. The No Sound Podcast.
And then I'm hiding off on the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What has he done?
No lurk, but sound.
No, like why can't I think of what's the Prosecco? Like I think that's maybe more my thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
If I'm gonna have something bubbly, like I like it's because there's a little more flavor. I don't know.
Just the bubbles in general.
And I've had apparently good ones, like you've told me. I mean, you've told me like this is a good one. I'm like, it's fine. It's like fine. I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever brought over. Trader Joe's has one, and I don't know if I've ever. It's one of my.
Because you said
favorites.
like our brother, like for. New Year's Eve.
The Vive. Oh, yeah.
It was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
like,
a champagne.
Yeah. So that's a classic.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at all of those. They're under the bubble umbrella, and then they break down. It just depends. It just depends on what style you like or don't like. Barbarella? No, Barbarella.
What do you think is your favorite of the? Like, if someone said to you, "I want a sparkling wine." I'll let it go for all of those.
It just depends on, so a couple of things I think of. If you're looking for like, because I work at Trader Joe's, two that we carry year round that are great values. They're like $11 and $13. They used to be less than that. But there's a Cremant, which is from like outside of the Champagne region. So that's a French bubbly, very good. And then there's also another Prosecco, which is one of my favorites. And so I enjoy that. So I'll recommend those two. But then there's and maybe we'll do that this year. I don't think we did it last year. There's a Platinum Reserve Sonoma. So it's a California bubbly that we carried last year. That was very good. So anyway,
I was also thinking the other day, like, because we may have picked out already the Thank you.
We may have.
I'm like, should we just record that podcast early?
Record it now.
I kind of want to have it. I was thinking that.
What if we don't make it to December?
I was like, exactly. I'm like, you shouldn't wait.
Life is short.
Yeah. I was like, maybe before like end of November we recorded, just have it done. Like we could put it out like a little earlier or something like that. And I'm like,
we could,
and then just have it at least in the can because I was like, I just want to taste it.
Well, and then because we don't need to bring as much over to our brother's house.
No, exactly.
So
Exactly. We just bring a flask.
You're bringing him the flask.
Yeah, bring him a flask.
There you go.
That's it's gonna be wrapped. He's gonna pull that out. It's gonna be like spoiler alert.
Yeah. We started on this in November.
Yeah, we started on it. This is all that's left. I hope it's good. That's all I can say. All right, let's take a little break. We are going to make a cocktail, which we love doing here. It does take a little bit longer.
Let's make
but we're going to make a cocktail. Thanks to the power of AI, we have this photo right here.
Okay.
This is the Division Bell cocktail.
You should play some Pink Floyd. Oh, wait, we did that.
We did that earlier. We won't do it again.
Good. Okay.
We did that earlier. We listened to something off of the Division Bell, which is an amazing album. Go listen to it. I'm sure it's on Spotify. This took me about 35 minutes to get AI to make this. It was crazy.
AI is such a bastard.
I keep talking about it. I should have saved the conversation. It was so funny. The back and forth of like, hey, I need you to make I need a picture of a Division Bell cocktail.
You should do that and then just put it up. For anybody who's interested, here's my conversation to get this picture.
It was almost like that. Do you remember that video from a long time ago? I think our niece had sent to us about like people coming into Trader Joe's and be like, "Oh, you have this, don't you?" It's like, no, we have not had it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was in the aisle.
It was over there.
It was almost a conversation like that, where it's like they initially gave me a picture, but it didn't have the stem, and it was a slightly different glass. And I was like, okay, that's perfect. The orange is perfect. I was like, and I always am like, okay, that's great. I need to see the full glass, and I need the background to be white. Sure, we can do that for you. Wait, and it does it. And then the next picture was this, but it had a gray background for the upper 2/3 and then white for the bottom part. So then it made this part look like very dingy, which is kind of like the picture we had last week for our cocktail. So that looked dingy, and then this had a gray like tone to it. And I was like, okay, glass is perfect. I need the background to be white, like I said, just like that. Okay, great. And then it looked like they had copied and pasted the glass because it still had the gray in the stem and this gray, but then the whole background was white. I was like, okay, the background is now correct. I said, but it looks like you copied and pasted. I even wrote, I was like, it looks like you pasted this info from the previous one. This needs to have, and I like went through, and it's so funny too, because in this, I was using Gemini, so I wasn't using ChatGPT, so performance and options may vary. Every time it went through about 15 different corrections. Every time I was like, I'm sorry, you're right. This is actually not correct. It like apologizes every time. And I'm always like, and I'm not rude about it. Like I'm always like, and then it would do something else. And then finally I got it to where it was the white background. And I was, but what did it do?
Here is a free coupon to Domino's for your inconvenience.
That's about what I was waiting for. So it did it did the drink right, but then it made a white background, but then it made the drink white. And I was like, okay, the background is now correct, but the drink I did not need changed. It needs to be orange, like picture number 3. Like I was like literally like talking, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're correct that I made a mistake. And then it did again. And then it went back to the original where it was like gray up here and gray on the stem. I was like, I need the white background of this. And like after finally, and then so there was finally, I was like, that's perfect. Thank you so much. You got it. There it is. And it's like, oh, thank you. So like, it's so weird.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Yeah. Care to capture this moment in caricature? It's so funny the amount of apologies it does. I'm like, it should be this and that. I'm like, but it looks like this. I need this to be this way. And again, this still isn't perfect, but I think this is close. So we are going to make a Division Bell cocktail. It involves the recipe that is up there. It is Aperol,
which may or may not look like this one.
I think it'll look in the ballpark. I feel pretty good about this one. Yeah. So it's got mezcal in it. It's got Aperol. It's got the maraschino liqueur, which is the thing I actually initially bought and asked my friend. I was like, hey, you like a lot of drinks with this. I finally got a bottle of it. What should I do? He was like, hey, here's a couple of our favorites. And then here's a couple more. And then here's a couple. It turned into like 8 cocktails, which is great. We'll probably go through a bunch of these because they all sounded really good. This is the one that I was closest on and had the ingredients. I just needed to pick up the Aperol. But after that, we've got many other things we can do with this particular liqueur. So I'm excited for that. Lime juice in there as well. Again, lime juice, maraschino liqueur, Aperol, mezcal. I think this is going to be fun. It sounds like it should be some sort of smoky, fruity, bitter kind of thing. That's like kind of what I'm feeling. What are you feeling?
Looking forward to it. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's what we're going to go with. What's that?
A riff on
a riff.
What was it? A riff on the
was it a riff on the last word or a
something?
Sidecar
Last
or something?
word. One of those.
I don't know. Side something. All right. We will be. Whoops. Where's all my? I found it. There we go. We'll be right back. And we are back. Thank you guys all for hanging out. I appreciate it. That might be a little more orangey than this one, but it's in the ballpark-ish of this drink. Kind of little. This one's probably a little more
citrusy,
maybe a little more grapefruit looking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking initially from far away, very much so. And then as I got closer, it was orangey, but now it's funny perspective comparing it to that. Yeah, definitely more grapefruity looking, but there's a tinge of orange to it.
And that's probably why the garnish for this is grapefruit, which I did not have. That is the only thing I made.
So this won't be a very accurate review of this.
Probably not even worth drinking.
Everything else is right.
I'll just have yours. That's fine.
That's all right.
We've got 1 ounce of mezcal. We've got 3/4 of an ounce of Aperol. We've got 1/4 of an ounce of the maraschino liqueur, preferably Luxardo, which is what I had, and 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed. Did I freshly squeeze that lime juice?
I saw it. There was fresh squeezing going on out there.
Done.
And then also the lime juice as well.
Hey-oh, my God, let's go. There it is right there.
Really good.
Did all the things except for that right there. Might need a stiff drink later. We might have one for you right here. I don't know if this will be stiff, though. This doesn't seem like this is super stiff. Mezcal's not high in proof. Like,
yeah, Aperol's not. Yeah, no, I guess it's not.
So, but I am excited to try this, though. This has been one long in the... Finally getting to use this. I've had this liqueur hanging out for several weeks now. Like I said, these multiple recipes and favorite drinks were sent by my very, very good friends. So this is the one that just was close enough with the rest of the things I had.
You said you had to add something, though.
I did have to add the Aperol.
Right.
That I did not have. And you were kind of surprised that I bought it.
Yeah, I could have gotten it for you, but it sounds like you got a good price on it.
I did. The price the price is pretty good.
And now you can have an Aperol spritz.
I have to see which Wentz version decides to show that's true. The Vikings game is tonight. Vikings Chargers.
I was wondering. So yeah, that was.
That looks orange. This looks.
I
a little
work
more.
with an Eagles fan, and he's like, Keith. He's like, the Vikings got Wentz today. They got Wentz.
They got Wentz.
Got Wentz. And he's familiar with that.
Touchdown should have counted though.
I don't think I saw it.
That one of the Vikings touchdown. But anyway, we talked about that
okay.
a little bit. All right.
Yeah, if we could have gotten some help from the Cardinals.
I know. We could have been like tied for first.
And the Lions. Oh, the Falcons, right? Was that the Lions? No, the Lions beat. That was
Lions beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's right. Yep. That didn't work out.
Which that was kind of expected. We tried the Aperol, very orangey.
A little sip of the Aperol, a little sip of the maraschino cherry liqueur,
which did not taste what we thought it would.
No, I thought it was going to be really sickeningly cherryly sweet.
It was not.
But no,
it was very interesting. It was
kind of
earthiness
earthy,
almost to it. Yeah, it was good though. I love the blending of all the aromas going on here. Like I said, the orange is kind of coming through. The smokiness of the mezcal is coming through. That is a really enticing
there's a lot
aroma.
It's very summery to me, or warmer weather. So there's a little bite to it, which counteracts the sweet and the fruit.
Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like it could be a little sweeter.
I'd like it to be smokier. So I think if you had the Trader Joe's tequila or mezcal, which I know is a little bit, it goes more toward that smoky burnt rubber. At least the bottles we had. I think it would add that extra little depth, but I like it.
It's really good. Yeah, I do like it. Be interesting to make this without the maraschino liqueur to see what that 1/4 ounce is adding. Because to me, right, and I'm assuming there's probably a little layer of depth that you would notice is gone. But to me, it's lime, smoke,
right,
the orange, the bitterness, all of those things are there.
Yeah,
I don't really know what that other thing is doing.
Yeah. Especially having tasted
maybe
it.
Some mid palate earthy. And again, it's only 1/4 of an ounce. compared to everything else that's in there. So it's definitely the low man fighting for things, but it's in there for a reason. I like this a lot.
Maybe it's providing like a little heavy, maybe a little heaviness, a little. Oh, it just got a little like
maybe middle of the tongue. It's kind of there, like hanging a little.
I got a little like because I know there's no mint in there, but you know that earthiness that mint gives you when you have like a mint leaf. That sort of, I got a little bit of that from something. So I don't know where that came from actually.
That's nice. It's very refreshing.
It's refreshing. It's cohesively it's confusing, but it's cohesive.
Cohesively confusing.
It's cohesively confusing.
It's a CNC.
Yeah, it is.
CNC music.
There's a lot going on. I'm a little bit like, what am I tasting? And yet it's all good. It's all. It all goes. Sometimes we have things where we're like, oh, I tasted this and this and this, and none of it mixed. Right. I'm tasting a lot of things, but it's all mixing and going down quite nicely.
That is interesting. Yeah, that is. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. I like mezcal. Like I said, I like that flavor profile.
Oh, yeah,
I like
me
that
too.
smokiness.
Yeah.
I like it when it plays into the whole, like, adding a little something smoky to something that's a little sweet or a little, like I said, the bitterness that's in there, the tart that's in there. Like I said, it definitely plays very well.
What would happen if you took this and added for the smokiness like a scotch? Too smoky? I'm looking for a little more. I'm looking for a little more smoke, so that's why I was saying the Trader Joe's.
I know you're really looking for more.
I know I want more. Well, because it says this. The thing you sent me even says this smoky. It's a smoky riff, and it's not. It's to me, it's not smoky enough. It's good. It's just not smoky enough. Maybe some Lapsang Souchong.
I think cohesive but confusing is my dating app bio. Hey-o. Mills. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that was one. And going through the pantry, that was one of the things I discovered. Some very old teas that I had from Arbuckle.
Oh wow!
I had holiday potluck tea.
Wow.
Yeah, and it still smelled pretty good.
Okay.
And I had some white tea, and I had some Lapsang Souchong. I think it had a date of 2013 on it. There's still some smoky.
Was there still a little bit?
I had some the other night. It was good.
I miss Lapsang.
It's more of a study.
More of a studying tea.
The Rob Reiner on Ted
Sure
Danson
Thing?
is good. Yeah, the Sure Thing. See, that was his. He talked about.
That was one of his earlier movies. Like, was that one of his first?
Well, he said Spinal Tap was his first movie.
That's funny.
And then The Sure Thing, and then he said Stand By Me, and he said because he talks.
Stand By Me kind of put him on the map. Then I bet.
And what he says is that the first movie. Spinal Tap, I forgot how he ties it in. He's like that's something kind of like my dad had done. He said, and then Sure Thing, romantic comedy. He's like, my dad had kind of done things like that. He's like Stand By Me was the first thing that was something I had done that was like very different from anything my father would have done. And I thought that was cool. He's like, so that's one of his. But he's had there's so many movies that I'm like, oh my God, that's Carl Reiner. He talked about there was originally a different ending for When Harry Met Sally. And because it was around the time that he met his wife that I think he's still married to, because he was married to Penny Marshall for a while.
Oh right, yeah.
But then and he said originally it doesn't end like it does. He talks about we had shot. It was just they meet up a few years later in New York and they say hi to each other and then they go their separate ways. He's like, but after I know
That would have been god awful.
I know, and that's what I said. But he said then after this relationship blossomed with this woman that you'd have to listen to it, but then he's like, then we did it with obviously with Billy Crystal and them.
So good.
Of course.
Oh my God, that would have been terrible.
I know.
That would have definitely taken it out of my top 10 of all time. Top 5.
It is good. I need to rewatch that. Actually,
I feel that that is a movie I watch probably every year. Like I said, that is definitely probably top 5 of all time. It is just because it is so perfect. It is like the first of any of those kind of movies. It's so good and it's just so genuine and just so I
have that
easily top 10, and I usually say that's my top. It's in my top 5 of all time.
I wonder if there's like a director's commentary because I have the DVD or Blu-ray or something
about that.
And I wonder if they have like the alternate ending. That would be great if it has that.
God, that would be terrible.
No, just to see it, not to, just to be like, oh my God.
See, and then you have a show like How I Met Your Mother that went the opposite way. They said, let's do the terrible ending as our main ending, even though we filmed this other one, and then we'll just put that on the DVDs to make people watch that.
Yep. No, the last season was not good.
Just don't even understand what they were doing there.
It'll be interesting
terrible.
because I've been listening to the rewatch podcast.
Oh,
When they finally get to that season,
are you just going to wait until they get to there? Because
they're only in season 2.
So.
Well, I can't
Ted
stand.
Mosby is insufferable.
Josh Radnor's a little bit pretentious,
and he's done so much. He's done so many other good roles.
So amazing. So, it's interesting. I like that behind the scenes kind of stuff, like how it came to be, because they were writers for.
That's always my favorite stuff.
Bays and Thomas were writers for Letterman.
I think
then they had written they were working on American Dad, I think they said.
American Gladiators?
Yeah. And then they had these other, anyway, it's interesting stuff. So it's 20 years ago that show started. I still remember when.
Wow.
Yeah. No, we watched, Pocket and I watched that from the beginning. We were like,
I can't remember when we started watching it. I feel like we caught up.
We
at
probably
some point.
got you into it.
I think we caught up at some point, and then we were watching it because I remember most of definitely the last couple seasons we were watching in time as they were showing up, and just well, because I just did, because it was one of those things for me personally, like I said, I was just so surprised that they actually found someone that embodied everything that I could have thought for that person that he'd been looking for, and then to them literally pull the rug out and just say nah, she's dead. Yeah, I was just like, this is the dumbest.
You
thing
mean
I've
at the
ever
very
seen.
end?
Yeah, the whole thing was just so
know.
stupid. It's so ignorant. Like the whole ending of that show is absolutely abysmal. Like it is so bad.
It'd be interesting to hear what they say.
They're probably like, "Oh, we love this shit."
They might not.
We think it was such a good idea.
They don't. So
you should feel lucky that you had her fall into your lap. Such a. Oh my God. Then turned into the kingpin. Alcohol is bad? Not true, Seeker. You know that full well. Go enjoy your beverage.
Alcohol's bad.
Alcohol's bad. Don't do drugs. Can't believe people drink. Okay. Secret is good to see you.
Only to excess. Oh, wait. No.
Drinking only to excess is right. Hi, I'm Seeker. I'm intoxicated. Hi, Seeker. What are we at, some sort of self-help group all of a sudden? All right. So you want more smoke.
I would like more smoke, but it's good. It's
I
good
think
the way it is. But since it said a smoky riff, I don't get as much smokiness. And I remember use the Dos Hombres, which is the Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, which was a better sipper, I think, than the Trader Joe's, because it was balanced and less smoky, I think. So.
And I still don't know how exactly that one compares. That's why I want to try other ones. Yeah. Because we've had literally 2 or 3. We need to try other mezcals and not just keep
next time you want
ones.
one, I can get the one from, although it hasn't shipped the last few times. No, is
it Trader Joe's? I don't
know.
No, it's
not. It's the Ojo de Tigre. I have the tiger.
El Tigre.
I have the tiger rock.
Oh, okay.
I have the tiger. It's the eye of the tiger. But this is very good by the way, just the way it is. Just the way.
I think you want more smoke because you just want that to linger a little bit at the end. Is that probably why? Because I get a good amount at the beginning, but then it kind of fades away into the orange, into the other, the lime juice, all the other stuff, maraschino liqueur, whatever that's adding to it. Like I said, it's falling into that. And so the final flavor is kind of a blend of those, whereas you'd probably like a little bit more of a smoke pop to kind of fill. Okay, yeah. I get that.
And I think that's because
I don't know what Scotch would do to that. I might try that this week.
I'm thinking of
sub it out 1-to-1 and see what happens. I feel like it might add too much more of some other malty characters, and
it might. And that's what I would be concerned about. But I think that as thinking of it now, and once again, it's still hit over 80 degrees here where we are. It's October going into November. Yeah. I want something that I think of not as quite as this to me is a great summer warm weather cocktail, just the way it is. I want to turn it into something that's more fall.
Okay.
And so that's where I would want a little bit more of the smoky. I remember I
think that's fair.
I keep seeing that bottle of the tawny port at work. And I remember when we made a cocktail and we substituted. It was what do we substitute?
It was basically a fall, it was the Boulevardier. I think swapped out the sweet vermouth and put in the tawny port. I think that's what the swap was.
Yeah.
And I forgot what that was called. That had a name, didn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to go back in our texts because I remember you sent me the person talking about it. So
yeah, and that one was like I said.
Yeah, it was good.
It was like I said, pretty good. So are we thinking a wine for next?
Yeah, I will look. I'll see if there's. I don't know if there'll be anything new yet, but we could. We've done the Harkin Chardonnay, which is something I was thinking. You know, remember a favorite of ours, the Phantom Chardonnay that we used to recommend because it had like the apple and pear and high notes and things.
Okay.
We don't carry that at the store anymore. Sure, they still make it, but we don't care. But I'll look for something. Maybe see if there's something in the Pinot Noir or
always like that. As we get into the Thanksgiving,
Chardonnay or
Christmas season, fall season, holiday season, all these things. This is the New Belgium that I had.
This
is
wow.
The Oak Spire, 4 roses.
Okay.
So we could try that one
that's next week. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it, but like at some point we could do that. Like I said, it's 9%.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Nothing like super crazy on that one. But yeah, we could have that one fall into the wine and then we just maybe figure out some sort of opener. I've got to track down some green chartreuse or some sort of green chartreuse stand-in at some point.
Call Scott and Rebecca. Say, hey.
I do. I hope they have it. I don't know if I'll be by there this weekend. I should just go by there and just be like, tell me if you have this. I need it.
Your website gives me no information.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not helpful.
Search button, please. Come on.
Axper. That looks
2025.
From that picture, it looks like Axper.
It does. It does. Axper is our new place.
Axper.
The internet is cheeks. It can be sometimes. It can be a great place, but it can also be cheeks, for sure. But yeah, another wonderful evening of some beverage podcasting. Always having a good time. Yeah. That vintage ale honestly surprised me. Not that I thought it would like be bad necessarily, but like I said, the flavor profile went kind of a different way. Like I said, the smoothness of that. Like I said, then when we started talking about food thing, like that would just be honestly fantastic. Yeah. Good on its own, but then I think another level if you did either some dessert things with it or some other cheeses and things, I think would have been awesome. The Shipyard Brewing, the Smashed Pumpkin. Also good. Unfortunately, not what it was. Not what it used to be, which was so unique and so flavorful and so different. Yep. So still a good one when you can find it. If you want a little extra ABV, it's kind of similar to some other ones that we've had, but still a good solid beer. And then the Division Bell cocktail, also very good. Maybe wanting of a little more smoke.
Wanting of a little more smoke for this guy.
For that guy right there. That happens. It's fine. So we're going to ditch on out of here. He will be here next week.
Yeah, a little bit later.
Probably a little bit later, it sounds like.
Hopefully we'll still see you here. Maybe even more of you. And more. Bring friends.
And more, yeah. Bring some other people in here. Yeah, exactly. So a little bit later next week. I will be here tomorrow, probably playing some more Ghosts of Yote, which I've been enjoying quite a bit. And enjoying maybe some more of that vintage ale, perhaps.
There's a little bit left.
I'll have to cap that for tomorrow. So that'll be
breakfast vintage ale.
Breakfast vintage ale. That's right. We're going to go say hi to Shafees right now. He's playing some Destiny. He is a super, super cool guy. Please go say hi to him. Drop a follow if you have not already. And again, we will be back together next week. Later bat time, later bat channel.
Later bat time, same channel.
Bat channel. There we go. Okay.
Well, we won't change the channel on you as well. That would just get really confusing.
Let's only change one variable. I got it. Good night.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for being here.